Hey everybody, it's Mike Frieder here with On-Call Compliance Solutions, and I'm back with another compliance tip of the week. Today we're talking about CMMC Control AU.L2-3.3.1. Create and retain system audit logs and records to the extent needed to enable monitoring, analysis, investigation, and reporting of unlawful or unauthorized system activity. Well, that's a mouthful. Now, if your audit logs consist of sticky notes, crossed fingers, and hoping your firewall catches stuff automatically, well, let's just say your CMMC assessment might not go quite as planned. But don't worry, at On-Call Compliance Solutions, we're here to help you turn your logs from non-existent to auditor-approved with a few laughs along the way. Let's dive in before the hackers do. All right, so AU.L2-3.3.1 is the control that says, hey, if something bad happens, you better have the logs to figure it out. This is your digital trail of breadcrumbs. If Hansel and Gretel had audit logs, they wouldn't have gotten lost in the woods. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. I got to give it to him. All right. Assessment objective number 1. Define what system events need to be logged. Documentation you'll need. A formal audit log policy that says what gets logged, why it gets logged, who reviews it, a system inventory because, well, you can't log what you don't know exists, and a log retention policy that tells you, the auditor, you know how long to keep stuff. Technical implementation. Identify key systems, servers, firewalls, VPNs, domain controllers, etc. Log events like logins, successful and failed, privilege escalations, access to CUI, configuration changes, and file deletions, especially Bob at 3 a.m. We definitely want to know that's going on. Now here's a pro tip. If your event logs only show user logged in with no timestamp, no username, and no IP address, well, it's time for an upgrade to your monitoring. Assessment objective number 2, generate the logs. Documentation you're going to need? Well, you're going to need the logs. Security configuration screenshots or logs showing that logging is turned on. Examples of real logs from systems with timestamps, usernames, and event types. A standard operating procedure for how logging is configured and validated. Technical implementation? Well, let's use native tools like Windows Event Viewer, Linux syslog, or cloud-native logging features. Better yet, centralize with a SIEM, or Security Information and Event Management tool like Splunk, or Microsoft Sentinel, or RocketCyber, or Graylog, or Alien Vault. Configure systems to send logs to a central location automatically. Make sure logs are generated in real time, and not only when someone thinks to turn it on manually. Yeah, it happens more often than you think. Believe me, we find it every time. Here's an epic fail example. An MSP told us once, oh yeah, we turned on logs. Turns out logs were being overwritten every 24 hours, and they had no idea someone had brute forced their VPN last week. So, retention's a big deal, and actually checking on this stuff, well, that's an even bigger deal. Now, assessment objective number 3, retain the logs so you can actually use them. Documentation you'll need. Your log retention policy should state how long logs are kept. 90 days is a minimum, is a solid start. We recommend 1 year when you can. Backup procedures for logs, storage access controls, and who can view, alter, or delete logs. We should know who those people are. Technical implementation. Store logs in a tamper-proof format, write once, read many, or secure cloud options. Back them up automatically to offsite or cloud storage. And set retention schedules in your SIEM or logging solution to comply with policy limit log access. And then limit log access to authorized personnel only. Only authorized personnel should have access into the log retention system. Now, here's a true story. We had a client get flagged because everyone on the IT team had access to delete logs. Oops, and all the proof was gone. But the good news is we got that fixed. That's not audit ready, that's audit explosive. Now, here's a final checklist to pass CMMC AU.L2-3.3.1. You've documented what gets logged and why. Logging is turned on for all critical systems. Logs are centralized and protected, and you have a real log sample to show auditors. Logs are retained long enough to be useful and compliant, and you have a review process in place. More on that in AU.L2-3.3.3. And if you don't know what your users are doing on your network, rest assured, neither do your auditors. And that's a big red flag, and it's definitely going to be a big problem for you later. So if you're banging your head against the wall and you're trying to figure out all of this crazy logging stuff and what is a SIEM solution, I have good news for you. Because at On-Call, we take defense contractors just like you who have had this DFARS, NIST, CMMC, ITAR, and EAR information security compliance stuff dropped in their laps like a seagull on a sunny day. And we teach you how to level up and be a proper On-Call compliance hero for your company, eliminating gaps, gray areas, and getting this solved, all while showing you how to leverage compliance as your secret weapon to land more defense work with higher profit margins. Now that's what becoming an On-Call compliance hero can do for you. And if you're looking for more help getting compliant, our compliance experts are always on call for you. Visit CMMCComplianceSecrets.com. That's CMMCComplianceSecrets.com. Or check out the description below for links to get help right now. And if you love the content we're putting out here for you, help us out with a big thumbs up on that like button. Or even better, smash the subscribe button to get the latest compliance content as soon as our compliance nerds roll it out. And until the next compliance tip, my friends, stay safe and secure out there, and hit us in the comments below to let us know what you'd like to know more about when it comes to information security and compliance. I'll see you on the next one.